Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday. I need you to get up. I need you to start moving around. I'm gonna need you to give it your all. And I got a little bit of an ad here to do. Do you live in Cornwall, Ontario? And do you want shawarma more than you should? Well, go to Shawarma on Wheels because they'll give you more than you should have more often than you want it. Shawarma on Wheels, that's 1916 Pitt Street. It's right near where the bowling alley used to be. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we're back there and we fell out for a second. We got a news story. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba. Rapid news. So, I like Andy Weir. He wrote The Martian and Artemis and Project Hail Mary and some other short story stuff. But those three pretty good books. Project Hail Mary's the last one, and I thought it was like a 10 out of 10. Like I listened to the whole audio book in one go. I think it was like 16 hours or something. It's great. But they're making a movie, and Ryan Gosling's going to play the main guy, and they announced just recently that they finished filming. So it's not supposed to come out till March 20th next year, but everybody thinks that's going to get moved up now. But I just don't think they understand that, like, how much of it is going to be CGI. Like, it's going to be like that For All Mankind show or whatever. It's going to be a guy in a tube talking. Like, that's going to be all CGI around the tube, and then whatever happens. I'm not going to spoil it, but there's going to be CGI involved, lots of it, and they don't, when they're on Earth, it's just going to be talking. There's going to be a little bit of CGI there for sciencey stuff, but it's going to be like CSI level. So, is it going to come out still next year, or is it going to come out a little earlier? Maybe they try and hit holiday this year, like Christmas this year. I think it'd be a good movie to drag the whole family out over the holidays. And I can't remember what The Martian's release was, but I'm looking forward to it. I like Andy Weir's space themed stuff, and I hope you're a fan of it too. Okay, I want to keep it on a space theme. So, one second, let me turn you down here a little bit. Let me bring me back. Okay, I want to keep it on a space theme. So, to Star Trek. What Star Treks have you guys watched? I've seen like half the original series. I would say the good episodes of the original series. Um, I've seen all of Voyager, all of Enterprise, about half of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and bits and pieces of everything else. I couldn't get into Deep Space Nine, so I never watched it. But in my opinion, my favorite is probably Voyager. I don't know. To me, it has the most rewatchability. Like, I get more into the characters and stuff, and I like that it's all new Star Trek stuff. It's not like, we have the Kazon and that kind of stuff. We don't have, like, well, we do sometimes have Romulans and Vulcans and this and that, but we get new stuff. We get, like, Neelix, and we learn that there's Ferengi all over the universe. It doesn't matter where you go. But, and I know they did lots of different changes, with stuff like they had new characters and that, but I thought the transition from Kess to Seven of Nine was very good. Um, they were starting to eat up like the same amount of screen time. Like Kess was getting more powerful, and then so her stuff was becoming more of episodes of if she can just like vaporize a ship with her mind or blow a guy up with telekinesis, it doesn't really matter, right? So I think Seven of Nine could only help out. Well, she was physically okay, like she could beat the Rock up, like in that episode where they're fighting like on pay-per-view, where Jeffrey Combs is the announcer. It's pretty good. He was the Andorian in Enterprise, the captain that you saw all the time. And then Enterprise is my second. Nobody liked Enterprise. I loved Enterprise. Like it was because it's more relatable than with what we have now. Like, like in the 32nd century, life's so different, but Enterprise is like some of the technologies are only a little bit ahead, like the engines and the stuff like that. Like if we had a warp drive That's probably the kind of ship we would build. Like, it only had 80 people on it. Like, it was like a real it was like a submarine movie, basically, or show. And they ran into all the same people, but it was fun because it was new for them. Like, it wasn't new for us. We were like, oh man, uh, oh, they ran into, uh, you know, Vulcans that like to feel. Like, they didn't think that that was a thing before, or that Vulcans could even feel. But then they find ones that, like, are basically addicted to it. And they have so many different introductions like that. But they also, what I really, really, really liked about Enterprise was in like the second episode or third episode, the Suliban, they break into the ship at night. And like, it's not like the Enterprise D where it's a little city. They they have full on uh like full on nighttime mode where there's only like 6 people awake or whatever. So I think that that's pretty funny, right? Like they have like they got like a nighttime watchman on the Enterprise instead of like the night shift that's like 500 people. So when the Suliban break in, like the captain gets woken up and like the head of security, everybody gets woken up, but they're in like tracksuits and baseball caps that say like Enterprise on it. Like it's like they made it in the 2000s, so it's like peak like marketing for companies and stuff. So it was like they were a company, not a ship, and I thought it was pretty good. Trying to get away from me there and play another song. Look at that. You guys are greedy. I will not do 3 Beatles songs in a row ever. We can mark that down as the first rule of this show. Not never again. And so I want to give you a treat. I did say before that maybe I'll tell you what my favorite episode of Star Trek Voyager is, and I'm going to, and I'm even going to play a little clip. I figured out how to make that happen in that short amount of time in 2 Beatles songs. So my favorite episode of Star Trek Voyager is The Thaw, which is season 2, episode 23. Um, they, the crew, they're flying through space as they are wont to do, and they discover a group of people trapped in stasis pods. They're on a planet that's like all dead, and they get an automated message. Hey, this is our timeline. This is when we went down to sleep. Uh, in the stasis pods, this is our timeline. Uh, don't disturb our timeline. Um, they go, well, they wanted to be out of stasis like 5 years ago. Maybe we should go down and investigate. So they scan the planet. There's no weapons or traps or nothing like that. So they go down, and some people are alive and some people are dead. But uh, this group of pods, all the people are alive, and they find out that the pods, like the 4 people in the pods, are linked together in like a Matrixy style world. It's not like as big as the Matrix, like a whole city or anything. You'll find that out like in the episode. So eventually they go in and they find out that they couldn't get out because the world like read their biosigns and used their emotions to keep them like satiated in there, and the computer got corrupted and figured out that like fear was one of the best motivators like to control people. um so Harry and uh is it Balana? Harry and Balana go in, I think, and they talk with the Fear, and Fear is played by Michael McKean, like from Better Call Saul and Spinal Tap and a billion other movies. He's a phenomenal actor. He really makes this episode. And so eventually, they Balana gets out, and you find out that he has the ability to like scare them to death, like that he can kill them. So if he has to let you out. So Harry can't get out, and he's like digging through his brain and scaring the hell out of him. And then there's this bitchin' scene where like he's gonna cut him, and the doctor steps in. He's gonna like scalpel him in the hospital, And the doctor steps in. He's like, that's not proper form, like how to hold that scalpel. And they sent him in as like an emissary because he doesn't have a real brain, so they can just like send him in and he can be the holo program. So he goes in and he starts to negotiate, and he wants to give them a simulated brain and all that, and he won't have it. So eventually what happens is Janeway volunteers, and she's going to go in and like offer herself to the computer and let everybody else out. So Michael McKean, the fear clown guy, goes for it. And then there's this confrontation where you find out that she's just a holo program. It's not actually Janeway. Her vitals were put on the system, so it tricked him. But it takes a certain amount of time for him to like read the thoughts, so everybody's out. It's one of those classic like gotchas. So I just want to play like the last minute and a half of the speech they have between the two of them, because I think it's like awesome. Like it's one of the best like Sunday school speeches about overcoming fear ever.
Sent their doctor.
So it's like 2 minutes.
Pardon?
I'm nothing more than a holographic image of Captain Janeway. Sent here by the same technique they used to send their doctor. I've been programmed to respond to you as Catherine Janeway would.
But I feel you. You're on the system.
She is on the system, yes. But not in stasis. Captain Janeway and her crew modified the pods so that she could be connected to the system without having to enter this environment. The goal was to let you sense her brain activity without putting her in actual jeopardy. You will be able to confirm what I'm telling you as soon as you become aware of her thoughts.
They're letting everybody out of the pods in the real world. And we can see Janeway's actually awake.
You know as well as I do that fear only exists for one purpose: to be conquered.
She tricked me.
Did she? Or was a part of you actually hoping to be defeated? Isn't that why you allowed Captain Janeway to come here? Because you sensed she had the power to subdue you?
No. She lied. It was very un-Starfleet of her.
Starfleet captains don't easily succumb to fear.
What will become of us? Of me?
Like all fear, you eventually vanish.
I'm afraid.
I know.
Dread.
Okay, so that whole speech as they're talking, the digital world that they're in is like bright like a circus, and he's a clown. It's very like circusy themed, the episode, the decor. And while they're talking and he finds out that he was tricked, the room starts to dim. And as it goes, like it dims and dims and dims until she's done, and then it fades to black and then plays the credits and the episode's done. Like, I think that's better than Schindler's List. Like, that one scene is better than the whole, like, production value and, like, emotion draw of that whole movie. I couldn't believe it. Like, it's amazing. And I suggest that if you want to get into Star Trek or Voyager specifically, just watch that one episode. And if you like that, there's plenty of more for you. And I think I'm going to play you guys a few more tunes, and we'll see how long I'm going to stick around here. But just remember what Janeway said, that fears want to be conquered. I know what you're saying. You're saying, Jeff, I'm burnt out on shawarma. All you recommend is shawarma. Shawarma this, shawarma that. What else can I have? And you know what I like to say to that? Whenever you're hungry and shawarma ain't hitting the spot, just remember, Sunshine Chinese food. That's right. It's in the north end of town, so people sometimes forget about it. But it is, in fact, the best Chinese food in all of Cornwall. It might be the best Chinese food for 1,200 miles in a circle around Cornwall. You get you get a dozen egg rolls, you could just eat the egg rolls. I've done that before. I know a guy, there might be a guy listening right now. We ate a whole dozen egg rolls one night. We swore we'd never tell anybody. And I'm not going to say his name out loud so then we can't piece it together. But you know who you are. We ate a whole dozen egg rolls. Don't forget that at Sunshine Chinese Food, we have a minimum delivery order of $35 before taxes, and any deliveries over 5 kilometers have a $4 surcharge. Debit on deliveries available. Dig in. Okay, I'm gonna have to break in here over Pink Floyd. I know, what a shame. We actually we just got a legal notice, everybody. We got a legal notice from Sunshine Chinese Food, saying they didn't like our approach to their live read. So we're gonna have to. We're not gonna have to listen to that. We're gonna have to file a countersuit, and maybe by the end of the episode, we'll be able to bring you a proper Sunshine Chinese Food ad. Now you can have the traveling Wilburys. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've been getting screamed at. I got texts and emails. I got 2 from Sunshine Chinese Food. I got 2 from my lawyer. I got 2 from the marketing department. They're really on my ass about this. I got issued 2 more cease and desists. It was ridiculous. In that short time, I played a couple songs. I begged, I pleaded. I said, give me one more shot. Let me redo the live read ad. I'll end the show with it, so I can't get into any more trouble. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow. Maybe I won't. We'll see how this Sunshine Chinese Food ad goes. But they agreed, ladies and gentlemen. Both sides said, you know what? You can take another crack at it. So here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my Sunshine Chinese Food ad. Have you been working hard all day? Have you been sitting there thinking of Singapore-style fried noodles? Or maybe you have a sweet tooth, so you want sweet and sour chicken balls. Well, those come in combination plate number 1. It's currently only $14.95. Try and beat that at any big wig Chinese food store. Maybe you got more people you gotta feed. Maybe you got 2 people you gotta feed. Well, we got 2 different options for you. We got dinner for 2A, and we got dinner for 2B, both $35.95. We get the prices go up from there, folks, but so does the joy. We go all the way up to dinner for 6 for $95.95, and for that you're gonna get a whole dozen egg rolls. And I know a guy who could probably eat just a whole dozen egg rolls. Me and him did it once, and I think he wished I wasn't there so he could do it all himself. Now, if you're a classics man like me, and you want chicken chow mein and garlic spare ribs, Sunshine Chinese Food is the place for you. I don't want you guys to give up on me. I want you to go to 17305 Cornwall Center Road, Unit 1, Cornwall, Ontario. Or give them a call at 613-932-1112. 1112? Maybe that's how many egg rolls you're going to eat. Sunshine Chinese Food. Enjoy.